Hi guys, we're gonna talk about emotional maturity today. Emotional maturity is not about controlling your emotions. Emotional maturity is about staying still and staying present as emotions move through your body. If you take a class on how your body works, you learn that your brain takes the external things that are on the outside world and communicates with our internal body through chemicals and electrical signals. When you feel pain and you can stay with that pain without trying to push it away, that is emotional maturity. When you can't sit with your pain, then you either pretend you don't feel your feelings, or you check out, right? Or you get super dramatic and explode and create more pain for yourself and the other people around you. So if you can't hold your emotion, you'll throw it up so everybody else can see it. It's gross when adults do that, right? And why do they do that? Because when they were children, nobody really paid attention to them. Maybe they had parents who were not safe, or maybe their parents were not around. So now they learn that if they yell enough, if they push enough, if they triangulate enough, maybe this time somebody will see them and acknowledge them. But what happens after that? Shame. When shame shows up, because eventually it will, your body knows when you're doing something wrong, and it keeps the score. There's a famous book called The Body Keeps the Score. Buy it and read it. So when you lie, when you cheat, when you steal, every time you do something that is not good for you, your body knows. You're going to start blaming others for how you feel. That is emotional dumping. You're living in crisis all the time, perpetually going from one drama to the next. That is not safe. That is a sure way to stay broken. And broken people break other people, okay? You see those people everywhere. They have to show you how they are the best. It's all external. They have to be the best looking or the smartest. And if they can't be that, they're gonna be like the best victim, right? That's how they escape. They escape this accountability, right? Because victims do not have to be held accountable because they're victims, right? You notice that nothing is ever their fault, right? Yeah, then you notice that you can never get them to answer a direct question. This is a tactic to make you confused, because if you are confused, you are more likely to not press them on the accountability issue, right? Then you notice the guilt trip. Something bad always happens to them. Maybe something even catastrophic happens all the time with them. And then they always need you to fix their issue, right? And then you feel sorry for them. That's how they escape accountability conversations, right? They want you to have they want to have the authority of a king, but they have the accountability of a 3-year-old, of a toddler, right? They live in this fantasy world where they spend all their energy trying to maintain this delusional world, right? Because this delusional world comes before you, before their kids. It comes before God. Their prime directive is to maintain this fake fantasy world where they are they're the king and the queen of their world, right? Because if they don't, the reality crumbles and they are exposed with all their shame, right? So the way they maintain that stupid delusional world is by deception and manipulation. Deception and manipulation. And that takes all their energy. And this is why they're always tired and they can't do anything to change. You know, this is why they're always broke. When you have no energy to improve, you will stay stuck. All this for the purpose of preserving this delusional world so they can divorce themselves from reality, right? Not look at their shame, not be sorry for anything they've ever done, because to do that, it requires emotional maturity and growth and work, which they're not willing to do because they're immature, right? So it doesn't matter what you do. They can't make the changes, right? They can't move forward. This is why they can't change. Their brain will lie to them and tell them they're doing so much better than their friends who they pick for that reason, right? They pick really shitty people. If your friends are liars and cheaters and alcoholics and they're all poor, you're not their friend. You are their accomplice, okay? And with that, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, and don't kill any insects today.